Hi, I'm David Smith, Superintendent of the EVSC, and I want to go over the board recap for you from June the 13th of 2022. So let's start off with the good news. Pleased to report that we have a state champion in our midst. That is Bossy's Alexia Smith. She won the state long jump with a jump of 18 feet 9 3/4 inch. Quite a feat. And next we had Harrison's 4x4 100 relay. They placed third in the state. That team is made up of Aiden Hamilton, Miles Terry, Evan Wilson, and Kalia Durden. So congratulations to them. And rounding out the awards at state track meet was Central's Alexander Hooten, who placed ninth in the 1600-meter run. So congratulations to all. We are very, very proud of you. Then the second item for good news was the announcement that on June the 22nd, the Ivy Tech Public Safety Academy is going to host its 19th annual bike giveaway. So this will mean that they have given out a total of over 3,800 bicycles and 30 adaptive bicycles in those 19 years. So this year they're going to give out more than 250 bikes with at least 2 adaptive bikes. And of the 250 bikes, 100 of those bikes are going to go to children that are currently living in foster care home setting in Vanderbilt County. So I know this is certainly a passion of our board president, Chris Kiefer. So want to thank him and the Ivy Tech Public Safety Academy. So thank you so much for that. Now let's go ahead and look at the board agenda. We have item 2.02, consideration of the allowance of payments. And for this 2-week period of time, it was a total of $11.7 million, which is pretty typical for a 2-week period of time when you consider we had a little over $2 million in invoices, as well as we took our health insurance payment out. 2.03, consideration to approve grant proposals. We have 2 grant proposals that were approved at the meeting. Both of these are non-competitive grants. The first one is the 21-22 Afghan Refugee School Impact Federal Grant. We do have one student, and so then that would be a total of $827.53. And then we also are applying to the Indiana Department of Education for their High Ability Program grant, which once again is a non-competitive grant. We anticipate the total of that being $138,701. Moving on then to item 2.04, that's the consideration to approve the change order number 1 with Danco Construction for the Cedar Hall K-8 school exterior paint project of 2022. So there was a deduct because when we cleaned the gutters, actually it was in the original bid to paint the gutters, but when they were cleaned, realized or saw that the powder coat was still in great shape for the gutters and downspouts, so no longer a need to paint those. We are going to put in an expansion joint though, however, and to complete all that work then would be an addition of $21,210. Item 2.05, consideration to approve the resolution for special ed placements outside of the corporation. This is a resolution that is required of us to be approved annually. So every year about this time, you will see this resolution taken. Item 2.06, consideration to approve the membership renewal with the Education Advisory Board. We've been blessed to be really charter members of the K-12 Education Advisory Board since 2016. So this is the renewal. We pay for this out of donation funds, but they really are the preeminent partner, if you will, of things as it pertains to K-12 education. Really great thought partners. They assemble superintendents throughout the nation, do a meta-analysis of existing research, and then really provide a great deal of support and best practice for us in a number of different areas. So we certainly do value that partnership. Item 2.07, consideration to approve the agreement with Smart Systems. So Food Services has contracted with Smart Systems for the past 6 years. And really what they do is they provide the preventive maintenance, they provide the chemicals and the service for our washing systems. And we appreciate the partnership that we have with them. This year's a little bit different in that this also includes professional development, which is required. So there's a slight increase because of the requirement for professional development for our employees. Moving on to 2.08, consideration to approve the maintenance contract for food service. So an RFP was sent to 4 vendors known to provide this type of maintenance, repair, and installation. We received bids from 2 vendors, and it was recommended that we go with Perfection for 10 of our schools, and then Nunning for 29 schools. And we will then do an analysis of service expectations as well as delivery of service, and then utilize that for future contracts. Item 2.09, consideration to approve the non-exclusive license agreement. So this is a company that approached us that actually puts up signs, and a donation to the EVSC Foundation is going to be made for every rental when the EVSC trademark school name or logo is used, and we do appreciate that. Item 3.01, personnel recommendations, and as I typically say, those recommendations are on there for your perusal. Item 4.01, the first action item, is consideration to approve the agreement with Power School for the new district application system. So the Office of Technology in our previous board meeting requested approval to enter into a 5-year contract with Power School for the implementation, subscription, and support of Power School for student information systems, for their finance systems, for their HR systems, as well as assessment tools, Unified Insights, and Naviance. And that was approved last night. Item 2.04, the second action item, was presented by Chief of Staff Rick Cameron, and that is an amendment to our policy, or an update to the policy 6220, which increases the amount that we can contribute into a rainy day up from 10% to 15%. And that would be applicable to the fiscal years of 21, 22, 23, and 24. Then after December 21st of 24, that percentage then reverts back to 10%. Then moving on to information items, we did have 3 items that were information items last night. The first one, item 5.01, consideration to approve board policy 1305, which is public participation at board meetings. So this, as you might know, is information items. So then the board has at least 2 weeks to process this information, and we will ask for their approval at our next board meeting. Item 5.02, consideration to approve agreement with Houghton Muffin Orcoat for their Amira Learning digital assessment tool. This has a lot to do really with our dyslexia training and program for students. And then finally, item 5.03, consideration to approve Reliance Standard and Matrix Absent Management, really for FMLA and leave management. So we are going to pilot this to make certain that this is a service that would be beneficial for our employees, and it really is a turnkey kind of operation. And the service really offers 24/7 options to report leave via the phone or computer or a mobile app, and then we'll hopefully provide excellent service for our employees if they find themselves needing to avail themselves of these federal types of leave programs. And then finally, in continued business, I was able to report that we have 3 new graduates within EVSC because of the summer school program, and we also have 31 additional credits that have been earned in the first 2 weeks. And if I may, also under good news, we do have I think something that is fairly unusual. We had 8 individuals that have recently earned their doctorate. So those individuals are Wendy Wells, Nicole Alcorn, DeCarla Owens, Valerie McClellan, Andy Owen, Ernie Griffin, Stacy Heron, and Shayla Calhoun. So congratulations to all 8 individuals that have persevered and have earned their doctorate. We are very, very proud of you. And that's the board recap for June the 13th of 2022. Thanks so much for listening. Take care, and God bless.